All right, now what we're gonna do is we got everything masked off. I wasn't gonna put you guys through the misery of that. So we will now show you again how to mix the gel coat with the Duratec and the actual metal flake. So this whole interior is gonna go blue metal flake, and that blue metal flake in the next couple days will come over the edge, and we'll be doing also a chrome metal flake stripe here with a black metal flake stripe. So anyway, stay tuned and we will show you the process. All right, so what we did was we went in our metal cabinet and we still had a 50-50 mix on our Duratec and gel coat from last time. So we have about a little over a quart. So we're going to put that to use first, and then we've got a new can of Duratec as well as 2 more cans in there. It won't use that much. This job will probably use this 1.5 quarts and maybe a quart out of here to do the interior. The interior is pretty small once you break it down. It's not like the whole bottom of the Cimarron ski boat. So you want to keep some acetone with a blue shop rag. The blue shop rags don't leave lint. So when your fingers get sticky from messing with this stuff, you want to make sure that it irritates me when they're sticky. So I just keep a rag here. I got acetone in this little squirt bottle. This also helps me clean the gun. So that's all the stuff that you want to get ready for. I also keep a couple clean rags on hand. So I'll take a couple of these rags, fold them up in a square, fold it up in a square, just in case you need a rag for something. The reason you want to set all this up is because once you mix your hardener, you're against the time clock. I didn't cover that much last time. But anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to pour this. See, the can's got sticky all over it. So we're going to put that in there, leave room for the flake. All right. The can's got sticky all over it. So everything I use does not have wax, just to let everybody know. And the reason it don't have wax is because in the past, the wax has led to other issues like fish eyes, repairs. What I do is everything I spray, when I'm finished, I'll put a PVA over the top. You guys can get this off Amazon. Film number 10, PVA by Rexco. So when you get done and it's set up, I let it set up for like, say, an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. Then I shoot this on there. The first coat I do real light, and then the second coat. So all it is ethanol, isopropyl alcohol, and butanol. And what it does is it puts like a thin film over the top. What it does is it encases the resin and lets it cure solid, which is the same thing that wax does. But if I ever had to go back and repair, the wax is going to be an issue on the top surface. So I'd rather rinse off. That's water base, water soluble. So that stuff rinses off. So after I let it sit, I like to let it sit for 7 days. And then I cut and polish it. Then it's got a hard shell. So let's break out the flake. This boat is going to be really nice. I know you can't see much through but this is the blue flake. Again, we use Roth flake out of Fremont, California. This is called Blue Meanie. And I had the 0.025. That's for the most reflection. Most boats run a 0.015 to a 0.0018. The new boats have a 0.0018. It's probably easier for them to shoot, but it's not as sparkly. The larger the flake, the more sparkle. So these boats from the 90s, 80s, 90s, even early 2000s had the 0.025 flake. So when you're shooting, this is the 96 Javelin. So when you're shooting this, I'd like to have big flakes so it has a nice reflection. All right, so you get organized. Make sure you've got your acetone cracked open, so when you need to use it, it's easy, accessible. Like I said, you're running against time when you're hardening this. All right, so got a new spray gun with a .30 tip. We're going to try that today. So I got the brand new gun. It's HVLP. You can see there it says 3.0. And it's got a regulator. I have a water trap, brand new water trap on it. I always run a water trap no matter what. And I'll clear the line before I start. So I take one of these plastic cups. This is the easiest way for me to add metal flake. And I'll set it down in the bag. So this has double bags. And that's for shipping purposes. I keep it in double bags just because. But this looks a whole lot different out of the plastic, trust me. So let me show you this. You want to always make sure that you set that flake where it's not going to. Look at this. It's going to be really pretty. All right, so the key here, I don't know if you guys followed last time, but you're going to dump it in here. Now this is 50% gel coat, 50% Duratec 904-001. Okay. So I'm going to add that flake, set that in the bag. Take a wide wood stick. Let me give you a little hint. These at Hobby Lobby, you get about, I think 25 or 50 in a pack, and they're like $10, which is not a bad deal. But I went on Amazon and I was trying to find 100, and they wanted like $40, right? So I said, Brent, you just got to be smarter than the average person. So I was like, wait a minute, I've seen these before. So I go on and I said, these look like those wood tongue depressors that the dentist uses or a doctor uses when you get a sore throat. So tongue depressors, same exact, these are the same exact wood. And I bought 500. You see the count? 500, right? Let me get a razor blade. They're the same exact stick, right? These are actually better because these ones are too big, right? So you need a smaller one because I'm mixing the quart, see? It's perfect. Where this is just kind of, I mean, it still works. But look at this, 500, perfect size, and they're pretty thick. Anyway, $13.99. So just to let you know, when you're looking these up, tongue depressors for mixing sticks, and it's bigger than a popsicle stick. Popsicle stick is very small. This is a popsicle stick. See? So these are perfect. And the value behind it is great because now I've got 500 sticks. So I'm not going to run out. You know what I mean? So where before they were so expensive, I was like saving them to use on a different project, and you really don't want to cross-contaminate. You know, the last thing you want is a piece of red metal flake in this blue job because we're not doing Superman boat, you know. All right, so you're going to stir in your flake. And rule of thumb, even though we're using all of that, I want to cover that because you don't want a bug or any foreign substance to go in there. Once again, we're sticky again. I can't stand my fingers being sticky when I'm doing this. Anyone else hate it when their fingers are sticky? All right, so I'm going to stir this in. All right, so the key to the flake inside this mixture, so the only thing you need to worry about mixture-wise is 50% the 904-001 and 50% gel coat. The flake, there's no measurement. It's more of a visual. Now, see how you can see the wood through this? You shouldn't be able to see the wood through there. So that's how you know to add more flake. All right, so I'm going to add more flake. Yes, it makes a mess. And so there's like no specific measurement here. All right. But basically what you're doing is you're adding that flake until you can pull the paint stick out and not see the wood. And that's the best way I can describe it, because if you get it too thick, when you spray it, it's not really going to want to spray because it's more flake than it is material. So, rule of thumb, we're close, but we're still not there. Now, you can look at it this way. If you wanted to leave it this mixture, it would just take more coats, which means you're using more product. I would rather get the mixture perfect, right? Because then you're not having to do 6 or 7 layers. You're just gonna do, 3. I do 3 layers if it's mixed properly with the flake. So you just mix it in, and you don't have to be real rough with it because it'll fly out just like it did back here, and then you got a mess. And what you don't want to do is take this metal flake and put it back in that bag, because this could have dust particles, dirt, pieces, fragments of stuff that you don't want in your gun or your flake. You want to keep that flake as pure as possible, because if you ever have to touch the boat up, if it gets a scratch or anything, you want to make sure it matches. And if you have this contaminated with some other flake or dust or dirt or anything like that, then it's going to be a mess. All right, there you go. That is the perfect combination. See that? That is awesome. Okay, so the next step, it's pretty warm today. It's almost 80 degrees in here. It's 77 degrees. So you want to be very careful how you mix your hardener in this situation, because if you get partway through, and doing an interior is kind of more intensive than just spraying the bottom or side of a boat. And I say that because you're having to angle it. And as you're mixing it in the gun, it's causing friction inside there. And so it's actually going to start it to activate, because it's a chemical reaction, because your MEKP, methyl ethyl, right, peroxide, ketone peroxide, MEKP, that's what it stands for, is activating. So it's an actual curing process. It's not like paint drying where the paint thinner is evaporating. It's not like that. It's a chemical compound, right? So what you don't want to do is, one time I made a mistake. I got this all mixed up, and I was just trying to do too many things at one time. And then I put the lid on here, and I went and sprayed the boat without adding the hardener. So there's 2 types. These are the same exact thing, but this one I use for structural repair, and it has a dye. Okay, I've gone over this before, but this is just the company I got it from. Anyway, this dye, which just got on my thumb, it's going to be a mess. This blue dye goes in here. Now it's on my finger, and it gives it a color. So when I'm mixing large amounts of resin doing a structural repair, the purple makes it so I can see that it's stirred in. This is the hardener. So it makes sure that it's stirred in. Now this is going to be a mess. This is going to be a big mess, actually. This stuff will get, look at that, just a little bit I had on my thumb is a huge, now look, it's all over my finger. Dang it. All right. Oh, no. Look at that. Just that little bit on my finger. Now it's in my fingernail and everything. I hate that. So that'll work. All right. So this works good. Let me put some more in here, actually, since we're thinking about it. That way it's ready to... It's handy to have this little squirt bottle so you're not pouring out of this big can. It's more concentrated in the area where you need it. Plus, I said, it helps clean the gun. So, yeah, it's a really pretty blue. This boat's gonna be really nice. I'm excited about it. The customer's excited about it. And then I've got 3 more boats leaving next week, so stay tuned. And then going to take a small, tiny break from the shop, and I'm taking a trip across the United States. I'll go see my mom and dad. So the shop will be closed in the month of May, part of May. Don't know which part of May yet, but part of May, because it takes 3 days to drive out there and 3 days to drive back. So I got to add 6 days to the itinerary. But it'll be really cool because I haven't seen my dad in 5 years, 6 years. And I saw my mom a couple years ago, but it's time to go see them. They're getting up there in age, and I want to make sure that I get to go see them. All right. So we got that in there. Perfect consistency. I'm happy with it. Make sure you've got your mask. I've got brand new filters for this mask. So we're going to take these off. I'm also going to clean my mask. And what I do is I use Windex. I spray it. Take one of these shop rags that doesn't have acetone on it. And I want to make sure I clean this mask. All right. So these filters are a little pricey. They're about $10 for a pair. But your lungs are worth more than $10. So as much as I hate paying the price, trust me, if you sprayed this without a mask, you'd be paying a bigger price. And it's called death. So not to be so brutal, but that's the honest truth. And I like to keep my stuff clean from the get-go. Every job I wipe down and I get prepared. And let's see now if I can remember where those filters are. Here they are, right here. What's nice about this mask is you can buy these 3M particle masks off Amazon, and it comes 2 in a pack, and it's going to be part number 2091/07000, and this says particulate filter P100. So if you need to know, and I think the mask was $39. Like I said, I've got an extra one here for the new person. Just released a commercial today, so the new person that comes in is going to have a brand new 3M mask. Got to take care of your people. I also got these new goggles that are supposed to be pretty good. These are goggles that I haven't even opened them yet. I got these. They're for, I don't wear glasses, but I think I'm going to have to soon. But these are made to seal against your face, and they're anti-fog. And they also fit over your glasses. So I got 2 of these, so whoever the new co-host is that's coming in will have a brand new pair of goggles. And if they wear glasses, it'll fit right over them. If not, you get all that freed up space. I'll make sure that since I opened these ones, that'll be my pair. But yeah, trying to take care of your health is critical when you're doing this kind of work, because you want to be around to actually, enjoy it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come back. I got to get my air hose set up. I got to figure out my plan of attack. And what I mean by that is I got to figure out where I want to, let's take you guys off here. So I got to figure out where our plan of attack is going to be, because I know I have to get inside this boat to spray this wall right here. I could almost shoot this from here, but since I'm going to be in the interior shooting this wall and this wall, I might as well shoot that wall while I'm in there. Now, here's the tricky part. While you're up here, you kind of need to get this angle, straight down angle, backwards angle, this angle, the inside of the jam, that side of the jam, that side of the jam. That's what I was saying. The jam is harder than spraying the outside of the boat. So you've got all these jams, plus you've got this console. So at some point I got to get out of the boat without messing up that wall and this wall, and I'm spraying up the rail to the top lip. But at the same time, I've got to come over here and spray this, and this console usually sits down on here, but I'm going to spray this anyway. And then I got to come around this corner, but then I can't really walk across here, so I got to try to shoot this way, left-handed, right, and go up and down, right, connect it here, and then I've got this small little lip, right, and then all this jams, these jams, and the splash pan. So you have to figure out, where's my hose going to be? Because here's the problem. Not a big problem on the base coat, right? So I'm thinking maybe I'll finish this front first, not touch that yet, so I could place the hose across here, get the interior shot and cleared, right? Then I can come back here and shoot this. I think that would work, because if I try to shoot the base coat here, the flake, right, and then I shoot the base coat flake here, then this is going to be wet. And then what? I'm going to drag the hose across this? That doesn't make sense. So I think I'm going to shoot the front first, all the way through the process and get it cleared. And then I can shoot all of this from outside the boat back here. All this I can shoot from outside the boat. So I think that's the game plan. I think that's the plan of attack. So these are just some of the things you have to think about. Now, it took me a day and a half to mask this off properly, because you have to make it so the gel coat can't get in here, but you still want to get this lip, because that's what the customer paid for. All right, so I've got a couple spots I got to touch up real quick, and then you guys will join me when I'm shooting the front first. So I'll shoot the front first. That'll be what you see next. All right, let's get going. Okay, it's important to note that I left this on real time so I could show you. I have basically 10 to 13 minutes pot life on this gel coat in this container. Now, the first brand new spray gun, never used before, exploded, put blue metal flake gel coat everywhere. So I had to grab a rag and acetone, wipe it off. Then I go to grab my old faithful HVLP gun, and it doesn't spray out of it at all. So now I'm stuck going to a HVLP gun that works sometimes it doesn't work. So in this clip, I found out that I accidentally didn't take the filter screen out of the pot lid, so that every time will cause that problem. So here I am panicking, and you can't leave the gel coat in your old HVLP guns or it ruins them. So I'm trying to clean them at the same time, get back to the boat, clean off the metal flake gel coat, get it in the third gun, which I know is probably not going to work. And then I got lucky. It decided to work for some weird reason, and I wanted to let you see the time lapse go by and understand that I'm under the gun to get this rear area shot as quickly as possible without any more mistakes. And part of the material is still laying on that live well area before I wiped it off. And now I'm on the third gun at some point here, and you'll start seeing the flake lay down nice and neat. So here we go.
Discard! 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 Discard!
I can cut and polish that. And I'm also, when I go to do the top cap, I'm going to redo the splash well. So I'll sand all this and redo the splash well. I just wanted to get something on it quickly because it had a lot of issues in it right here. We have some sort of worm, or yeah, we got like an inchworm or something. Yeah, there was an inchworm. Anyway, so this will get redone when we do the cap. So this isn't that, there's a lot of orange peel here, but this can get sanded and even if we just sand it and re-clear it, this back splash pan, I've got a lot of material in here. But I wanted to get this shot first. This can cure today. This will set up pretty good. When I get back, I got to go help get a boat. When I get back, I'll put some PVA on this, and it'll draw a hard shell on it. So now when I go to take off, like, I actually need to take the tape off right now, off where it's going to meet with the cap, because it'll be impossible to do it without cutting it. So let me do that real quick. Let me get my gun cleaned, and then I'll come back and do that. So let's stop this right now where we're at. So what we got to do is take a razor blade with you. What we're going to do is we're just going to take the edge of the plastic, right, that is going to be joining the cap, okay? So right away, you know that this piece, all right, we just put that piece on there. And we just want to peel the tape away. We don't want to take all this off because we're actually going to use this again. So, all right. Make sure you got your gloves because this is going to get messy. This part's messy. But basically, if you wait too long, you would never get this off of here is what I'm saying. So you have to peel it back. You can stick it there. It doesn't matter. But what you're after here is you want this clear edge to lay down. I'll put that there. Because I'm going to peel this back because this is no longer serving a purpose. So we'll fold that back on itself. We're after this lip here. So get the tape off of here. So you carry your blade because you can't do anything with these rubber gloves. So get this blade under the tape, and once it starts, it's easy. You're just going to grab it, and I'm just going to pull it up, right, and lay it on itself. Lay it on itself. That way it doesn't fall back into that. Okay. Just laying it back on itself, and it's getting set up right now, so it's kind of sticky, so it'll stay there. And you just want to keep going. I was hoping that would peel. But what it does is, while this cures, you know, it gets hot, and it'll actually start melting that edge, and that way it won't be such a harsh edge when you go to do the blend mark for the cap. I got blue metal flake everywhere. But you'll be happy that you did this because it'll make it so your joining line is impossible to see. Totally impossible to see. Okay, so back here, I'm going to pull this up, right? Pull this away, fold it back on itself, because we can always put masking paper to this, all right? All right, so we're going to peel this edge, right? We want this edge peeled. This edge peeled. So does that make sense? This is the cap, and we don't want a harsh edge right there when we go to join this other piece, you see? That's pretty. That blue is really nice. That's called Blue Meanie. M-E-A-N-I-E. That's from Roth Metal Flake. That's the prettiest blue they make. It's actually what come on a lot of these boats back in the 90s. It's just over the years your boat gets faded out or whatever. So come on. It's hard with these gloves. Let me pull this main piece off, and then I'll grab the rest with my hand because this is ridiculous. I can get the rest with my fingers. I'm just trying to be effective here. See how I'm just folding it back on itself so it doesn't fall back in? Like I said, you just want this edge to be away because you don't want that harsh line. I know I keep saying that, but you'd understand once you have a harsh line, it's hard to get rid of it, and you don't want to sand it because if you sand into your metal flake, it turns silver because all metal flake is aluminum chunks. Okay, all right, I'm going to take these off so I can get the last remnants of that tape off there. I'm not concerned about where the carpet's at because that'll just peel off because there's getting carpet over it. What I'm concerned about is I'm going to leave this, but I'm going to peel this. There we go. I peeled that one over there by accident, but anyway, it's okay. I can put a new one on there, but you just want these harsh lines gone. That's all. While it's still, you know, it's been 25 minutes since I sprayed this. So like I said, I don't want a harsh line here. So I'm peeling that off. All right, come on. There we go. All right. Gonna have to acetone my fingers because they are sticky. I sent a couple pictures and a video to the customer. I like to do that so they get a kind of a feel for like, hey, yeah, that looks great, or hey, that's the wrong color. I never get that's the wrong color because on something like this, you're redoing all of it. So the color's not an issue. All right, so now because this boat's a 96, so it is going to look brand new, and that's the best part. So just to save myself some headache, I think, I'm not worried about it. I could cut it with a blade, but it's that stuff will knock down. Hey everybody, Brent Bridgman here down at Real Serious Productions. Those who don't know me, I run a full-time YouTube channel right here at the film studio. So my shop, which is 3,000 square feet, is 5 months old. We run the YouTube channel off content building boats. This particular boat in the next hour and a half is going to receive a blue metal flake interior, and then later 2 days from now it'll get the blue and chrome top cap done in metal flake blue and metal flake chrome. So what this video is about is I'm seeking a female co-host and employee. So you'll get an hourly rate to work here. We work 4 10-hour days, and then you have Friday, Saturday, Sundays off. I'm looking for somebody who's motivated, somebody with a lot of energy, somebody with character. So it's an acting role, if you want to look at it that way. It's basically a lifetime position if you choose to do that. But what's nice is you'll receive an hourly wage. Plus, once the YouTube channel starts picking up and we start receiving positive revenue in the profit zone, I'm willing to share that 50-50. So let's face it, it's 2026 and not very many people want to watch a 50-year-old guy work on a boat. So I want to add an element with a female. So you'll have a male and female perspective. I think that's healthy. I think that's amazing. And I think it's exciting with a female paying attention to detail. Females have great ideas. So I've got the male perspective and the 30 years experience with the fiberglass gel coat and stuff like that. I want to add some new flavor to the YouTube channel, as well as have somebody here that has a second opinion and a second vision that they can share, so we can make some awesome boat builds on the channel. So you can reach me now. I'll put the graphic up. They call me Mr. Fiberglass. The phone number here, 256-904-6566. Contact, ask for Brent Bridgman. I own the place, and like I said, I came from California, from Burbank, California before COVID. So I've had a film studio for 13 years. Now the film studio's here. We just happen to film YouTube all the time. It's something for me to do. I retired from a company after 26 years of working for somebody else, making them the money. So now this is something I have fun with. There's lots of money to be made with fixing boats, especially with the price of boats now. So if you're in the Muscle Shoals area, Florence, Athens, even Moulton, something like that, it would be a very good opportunity for a female to co-star on the YouTube channel. And like I said, it will be a great place to work. Plus, you'll have Friday, Saturday, Sundays off to go out on the boat. So if that sounds like something you might be interested in, please let me know. Give me a call. We'll set up an appointment. You can come check out the shop and see if you dig the vibe. And if it works for you, you can start as soon as possible. Thank you.